What up, Giants fans? Marshall Green from Giants Now by Chat Sports here. In today's show, we're going to touch on a CBS two-round mock draft that the Giants trading up from pick number 25 all the way to inside the top 10 to select CJ Stroud. We're going to break that down. But first, let's start with the biggest story right now surrounding the New York Football Giants, and that focuses on Robert Woods, now the free agent wide receiver, formerly of the Tennessee Titans, and before that, the Los Angeles Rams, and before that, the Buffalo Bills. And before that, where'd he go to college? USC. Shout out to producer Coop. He was released by the Titans as a move to save some money on the salary cap. They saved $12 million in doing that move. Sounds like they're going to blow it up right now in Tennessee. And I was flooded with questions on Twitter yesterday of, yo, Mosh, should we go out and sign Robert Woods? And I said, you know what? The Giants, they have to upgrade their wide receiver talent. And I think everybody that watched at least one game of Big Blue last year knows that this team has to get more weapons and simply more talent on the outside, whether it's Daniel Jones or whoever under center playing QB next year. Because when you look right now at the depth chart, Darius Slayton is a free agent. Richie James is a free agent. Sterling Shepard is a free agent. And Marcus Johnson is a free agent. The only players under contract right now are Isaiah Hodgins, Wan'Dale Robinson, a second-year player coming off a torn ACL, and Colin Johnson, whose Achilles bursted before the season started. So you have to get better at that spot. And I think Robert Woods could be an immediate upgrade for Big Blue. Did not play all that well last year for Tennessee, but when you got to play games with Malik Willis at quarterback and Josh Dobbs and Ryan Tannehill, it's going to be not very good for you as a wide receiver. Only 53 grabs, 527 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10 yards per catch. Look, didn't have a good season, but Robert Woods is a good wide receiver. When you look at what he did from 2017 to 2020, he had 3 straight years of 90 catches, and he also had 3 straight years of over 930 yards. Is he a number 1 wide receiver? No. But can he be a good number 2? Can he be a person in the slot that dominates the middle of the field and somewhat becomes a safety valve for maybe Daniel Jones? We know Jones is an accurate passer when pushing the ball down the field, but last year he was a dink and dunk quarterback, the league's worst ADOT, which just means the average depth of target. Shout out Tom Downey. I know he got pretty happy hearing about the good old ADOT stat getting brought out on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I like the move. I think they should go after him. It'll be a cheap move, low risk, high reward. I think, look, maybe 1 year, $4 or $5 million, lace it up within some incentives, and maybe it gets up to $8.5, $9 million. I'd be down with that because, look, the free agent wide receiver market is just really not that talented. And Woods, I think he is a talented receiver, great route runner, and he's good in the slot. He can get open, create separation. Not that good after the catch, but reliable hands and just a vet that can make this wide receiver core better. So I want to ask you guys, should the Giants sign Robert Woods in NFL free agency? They could do it today. They could do it tomorrow since he was cut just yesterday. Let me know. Type S for sign, or you can go down and type P for pass. We're going to get to that CBS mock draft and the CJ Stroud rumors coming up in a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Cultivate. Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports to get hooked up with them. The link is in the comments and description of today's show. Today's show is sponsored by Cultivate, the free browser extension that brings transparency to your Amazon shopping experience. Cultivate shows you the brand, seller, or product origin and identifies local alternatives that support local community efforts while saving you money. With over 50% of Amazon U.S. sellers based in China, Cultivate offers a way to avoid trickery from these sellers and keep money in the U.S. economy. Cultivate offers alternatives that are on average 30% less expensive than Amazon without any additional costs such as Amazon Prime. It can even identify local alternatives that you can pick up the same day. Cultivate users earn free donations as rewards for using the extension, and the more you use it, the more you earn in donations by increasing your level. In fact, Cultivate donates 51% of the revenue they make on your purchase. So what are you waiting for? Go to wecultivate.us/chatsports and download Cultivate for free. Let Cultivate bring transparency, savings, and community support to your Amazon shopping journey. Support the show and download with our link. It's down in the comments and description of today's video. segment number 2, or story number 2 of today's show. I was going on my Twitter search. I was looking for some content, something to talk about, and I came across a CBS mock draft that had the New York Football Giants traded up from pick number 25 to pick number 8 with the Atlanta Falcons to select CJ Stroud, the quarterback out of the Ohio State University. And this isn't the first time we've talked about CJ Stroud on the channel. Last year, 10 months ago, we put this picture on the show. This was Joe Shane at the 2022 Ohio State Pro Day. Who's he's pictured with right there? Good old CJ Stroud. Also, we talked about this before week 1 of the season because Joe Shane went to the Ohio State and Notre Dame game. I think it's fair to say Joe Shane has spent a lot of time scouting Stroud as a potential Daniel Jones replacement or just the next QB under center. This was the trade idea that CBS threw out there for the Giants to move up 17 slots. It was their first-round pick this year, their second-round pick this year, and a first- and fourth-round pick next year. So, in all reality, you're giving up a future first, your current second, and a future fourth. You know what? I want to hear from you before I give you my take. Would you make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. If you think Stroud is the guy, if you think he is a Fetty guy, as I like to call him, a guy you could see the confetti falling on him after he wins the Super Bowl, you make this trade. If you don't, you type D for decline. Let me know, would you make this trade? A for accept, D for decline. For me, it's a lot, no doubt about it. You're giving up prime draft compensation, but if you're trying to move up 17 slots in the first round of the NFL draft, this is the going rate. This is what it costs. And if you lose out on Daniel Jones or he re-signs somewhere else or you tag and trade him, if Jones is not on this team next year, I would do this trade because I think CJ Stroud has it. He just got it. What I saw him do against Georgia, which we're going to talk about coming up in a second, that sold me. I was impressed with him that game, and I think he's the guy that can absolutely sling the piss out of the football. We're going to get some stats coming up in a second, but with the offseason here, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because there's breaking news all the time. Like when Isaiah Hodgins re-signed with the Giants, we got you guys a video within 30 minutes. Breaking news all offseason long. We're going to keep you covered. We're also going to put out videos every single day on Big Blue. So hit that big red button, subscribe to the channel. When you take a look at CJ Stroud and what he did in the last 2 years in Columbus, he was exceptional. Last year in 2021, he completed almost 72% of his passes, threw for almost 4,500 yards, and a TD to interception ratio of 44-6. He was also great this past year in 13 games played. His completion percentage went down a little bit, down to 66.3, which is still exceptional. Pretty much threw for 3,700 yards and posted another incredible touchdown to interception ratio of 41 tutties to 6 interceptions. But it's what I saw him do in the college football playoff against Georgia, arguably the best defense in the nation. Throwing for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. It just felt like he had a command of that game. It felt like there was nothing Georgia could do to slow him and the Ohio State Buckeye offense down. Whatever they gave him, he took it, and he made the absolute most out of it. And that game showed me that he can win the big games. Did he lose to Michigan twice? Sure. But that game right there showed me that he can compete at the highest level and be a productive quarterback in the National Football League. I know a lot of times college scouts and NFL draft scouts like to scout the helmet, meaning there's no way a quarterback from Ohio State could be good. And you know what? I can get behind that a little bit. But before Patrick Mahomes came out of Texas Tech, you said the same thing there. Not saying Stroud is Mahomes. What I'm saying is judge the prospect, judge the player. Don't worry about what uniform they're wearing. I think CJ Stroud is going to have a long and very, very successful career in the NFL. And if it's with the New York Football Giants, we're going to be rocking with CJ Stroud. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. Make sure to give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. That link is also in the comments and description of the show. I'm tweeting about the G-Men all day, every day, and I like to connect with you guys over there. So if you have a question, comment, or you just want to tell me my hairline sucks, DM me over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_.